Hello ladies, today we have this fresh spring makeup look, a super natural look, great for every day. And I have some amazing tips for you how to look more refreshed and younger and feel really good about yourself. And for a good base, we definitely need to moisturize depending on your skin needs. You know what's best for your own skin. Please moisturize before you apply any kind of makeup. Your makeup will just go on much smoother and everything will look better. Moisturize your face. I have combination skin. I'm only dry around my eyes, oily T-zone. And I still like to use like a light serum. I like to use Nivea under my eyes. I think there's nothing better, and you only need the tiniest bit, like this. It's a super rich cream. It's a dupe for La Mer. So then I rub it between my fingers like that. It's like it emulsifies it. And then I put it gently under my eyes. There's nothing worse than a dry, crepey under eye area, and this prepares my eyes really well. Tap it a little in. Don't play too much around with the delicate eye area. Yeah, I find there is no eye cream on the market as good as this simple Nivea. As we age, I find less is more, and on a daily basis for a natural makeup look, I would recommend, if you can, if you don't have too many things to cover up, to just use a light BB cream. Up until recently, I was fighting with acne and I wasn't able to just use a BB cream. So I'm so happy that now I just have a little redness on my chin left that's still healing. But yeah, the lighter your foundation is, the more natural it will look. And this is really, feels super silky, super hydrating. So if I use a foundation, I like to kind of skip my forehead to not enhance the forehead wrinkles there. I feel like it always creases, foundation always creeps into those wrinkles. A BB cream is more forgiving, so I will just apply a thin layer everywhere and I will just do it with my hands. I feel like this makes the most natural finish. Also on my neck. This has also SPF of 30, which I also like, and looks just super natural. It doesn't really provide much coverage, but it evens out ever so slightly the skin tone. Yeah, see, this is now with the BB cream, everything slightly better than before. I still have a bit redness here going on, but we're not going for a full coverage look today. We're just trying to keep it super light and natural. Now let's go to the concealer, and here, same rule. Less is more, definitely. Try to use as little as possible of concealer, and I like this It Cosmetics concealer, and I really only use the tiniest amount. Look at that. This is really just a tiny little drop. This concealer is weird than others. It's almost greasy, I want to say. And then I dab like this with my ring finger because it warms it up, and apply it also again with my finger. I find like the application with our own hands and fingers makes the most smooth, natural finish. This eye is worse than this eye, so I pay more attention on this area. And look really where you apply it. Don't just rub it all over the eye, right? It will only enhance all the wrinkles. So I like to really go where I see it's purple. Just dab it on slightly there. And I like to not apply any concealer on the outer corner of my eye, because I feel like anyway during the day that will crease, and then it only looks worse. The wrinkles look worse after foundation or concealer creases. So I rather have a tiny bit of darkness going on there than foundation or concealer creasing. That looks way worse. So see, this is just a tiny bit of concealer I put there, and always I have some redness on the inner tear duct, so I put some on there with this tiny little amount of concealer. And then this needs even less, so just on the inner eye where I have some purple. And then I might go with the leftover a little on that blue line that I have. I will stay out of the outer corner of my eye where the crow's feet is. I will set this concealer, and really only with the tiniest amount possible. I put a little bit powder on the lid. I like to use these little poofs, dab it in. And because it's kind of uneven, I will use the inside of my hands and kind of try to make it all even, not patchy. And I start with this eye. This is the worst eye, so I want most of the powder to go on here. And I feel like it's also the best thing against the puffiness. So I always have puffiness right here. And watch now how I will erase it with this powder, all the puffiness. Watch. Pressing it on there. And just like with the concealer, see what a difference that makes? Just like with the concealer, I won't go on the outside corner of my eyes because, again, more product just leads to caking and creasing. We don't want that. So I won't apply any powder on the outside corner of my eyes. And with the leftovers, I go on my other eye. I won't use more powder. This is enough. And this eye is not as bad as this one. So the leftover is enough. See how I go on the inside and I stop here. No more powder there. And I will also go on top of my lids because I have very oily eyelids. If you have dry eyelids, skip it. So yeah, I will go just like that. And again, still skipping this whole area. Same here. Skipping this area. So next step, bronzer. I find so important. It is after mascara my favorite item to just warm up the face, to bring back life. Look at mine. This is because I use it also as an eyeshadow. I love to do that. So that's what these little holes are. And I like to use a super big fluffy brush because I will bronze up my whole face, dab it in. This is really dark, so I don't need much. And then naturally, the bones will catch where it's supposed to be. So I call it soft contouring. I don't want any harsh lines, so I won't contour my face. But I will use the bronzer all over. Don't forget your neck, super important, to make it all smooth and one. Basically, when you go in the sun, you know, where the sun would hit you, where you would get tan, so that's on the forehead, cheeks. And then I like to take a brush like this and go a little more detailed. And I will also go on top of my eyes. Do a little more here, a little deeper. And I will also put more on my neck so I don't have the look of a double chin. It really helps. And even it all out a bit. We need mascara, so important. And what I like to do is I start at the roots and try to wriggle it a bit to really have on my roots a lot of product, and then I slide up again. So I like to really spend a little bit time on my lashes and put a couple of layers on and really build it up. I find lashes are so important. And then when I feel like this is good, then I like to take the tip of the mascara wand and go really deep at the outside corner of my lashes and add some more, like literally pile it on there on the outside corner, and that almost is like adding on like a cluster of false eyelashes. So I really spend my time here and make sure I grab the lash by the root and really drag it out there. Look, I pile it on the outside corner. See? For a natural makeup look, I won't apply any mascara on my lower lash line. That I only do if I do a more dramatic eye look, an evening look. For a natural day look, I feel like it drags the eyes down and I want it only to get an uplift, so I won't apply any here. And if I have little smudges of mascara, I will just slide it away with my fingernails. As we get older, it happens a lot because the eyes get smaller and more hooded that we have mascara landing a little bit on our lids. And it happens to me all of the time, and I see it with my girlfriends and it kind of looks tired and aging. So try to make sure that you don't have any mascara smudges on your lid. And what I do, I know some people just like to wait until it's dry and then they use a little eyebrow brush or something to flip it off. But I like to just lick a little Q-tip and then clean it immediately off like that. And to make sure I don't have any eye smudging, it happened to me 3 weeks ago. I liked my makeup look so much and then I went to a girlfriend's house, and when I came home I discovered in the mirror I had everywhere mascara there because I forgot my own trick to use, which is after applying mascara, put on some waterproof mascara. And the reason why I don't just immediately apply waterproof mascara is because I find it's a hassle to get it off my lashes. But if I have first a layer of regular mascara, then it's pretty easy to remove. So on top of my mascara, once it's dry, I will basically put a little coat waterproof mascara to avoid the smudging. This is a little unfortunate. Now I already applied the blush. Somehow it didn't record. This is the blush I use. And I just used my fingers like that. And then I dab it in. And I like to use it on my cheeks and also go up high here. And this makes just the whole face look immediately more youthful, more glowy, fresher. And I also apply it on my lids, just like that. This is super foolproof. You can't mess it up really. And it has a slight glow because it's very moisturizing. And I feel like with your fingers, it's the easiest way to apply. Yeah, see what a difference that makes. So for a natural makeup look like this, I will keep my eyeshadow super simple and quick, but I want to still enhance a little bit the eye shape and so that my hooded eyes look a little bit better, a little bit more open. And I like to use a taupe color like this. I don't think this palette is available anymore, but I'm sure you have an eyeshadow palette that has a taupe color or like a light brown, something like that. And then I will go only on the outside corner and stop halfway and literally just create a shadow as if it's just a natural shadow. The sun is doing that and I actually do not have any eyeshadow on. Psst. So I stop here, just on the outside, and then I like to flip it up here. This is important to lift up the corner of my eye. Same thing on this side, outside corner. See? Barely don't even see it. Nobody would really know if I put on eyeshadow, and then flick it up here. So I tilt my head a little bit down and flip it up. So this gives me a little bit of a lift. See how that looks if I close my eyes? There's just a little lift up, and that helps really a lot to lift up those hooded eyes. And I will take a little bit more of that taupe color and then place it as a guideline exactly where my eyelashes are behind it, to just give a little bit more darkness to this area. So I'm using this eyeshadow literally to create a shadow. So it shouldn't look like eyeshadow, it should look like a shadow. So I place it exactly here, just a tiny bit. See how that helps already? And here too. And this is a tiny, tiny, fluffy crease brush, perfect for this. Tiny brushes are really good for hooded eyes. See how that helps the eyes, lift them up a bit. So I created basically just a little bit of a shadow that looks almost like I didn't put any eyeshadow on. And then we'll highlight. I have here like a champagne, a little pinkish highlighter, doesn't matter whichever highlighter you have. And I put it right here on the inner tear duct. See how that opens up the eye? And I like to go a tiny bit on my lower lash line, only on the inside. And the same is on my lid, only on the inside, like that. See how that gives a little bit of shimmer and opens up the eye. Same on the other side. And again, using a tiny, tiny brush. I could leave the eyes like that, but I like to, again, a little bit more enhance like an almond shape of my eye. So I use the darker brown color here. Again, you probably have an eyeshadow palette with similar colors, and I use an angled brush, and then I stamp it right on the outside corner of my eye, just until here, no more. And then I do a little flick. Keep your eyes open, don't move them, have them relaxed, and just extend your lower lash line the direction where it goes, and keep it where your last eyelash is. So this is a good guideline, so you're not below and you're dragging the eye down. You want to drag it up, so you stamp it right there. That helps again that the eye opens up a little bit. You see that? Same on the other eye. This eye is more hooded. Stamp it there. Tilt a little my head. There. So now to the eyebrows. I don't do very much with my eyebrows because I feel like it looks more natural to not overdraw them, and especially don't go too dark. I see a lot of people using too dark eyebrow pencils, and as a blonde I feel like it looks much nicer, especially if you're getting older, if you don't have harsh lines. And I see a lot of ladies our age, they have never changed their eyebrow style, how they draw on the eye lines, and a lot of them just draw literally a line on and it looks super harsh. So I just try to work with my natural eye shape, and I usually all I'm trying to achieve is that this eyebrow looks a little bit more like this eyebrow because they're kind of different. This one is higher up and thinner. This one is a little better. So I'm just trying to even it out a little bit, but don't apply too much. So I can see always here is a little gap where is something missing. Because the funny thing is I'm already plucking this eyebrow, trying to get it more like this, because this one isn't growing down here, it's growing up here and almost like a round shape like that, while this one is straight. So I'm trying to pluck everything that goes down here and up here to make it more even. So yeah, I just try to even it more out. Have them more, I don't even want to say like twins, more like sisters. Lips are so important too. And yeah, I feel like as we get older, they diminish. They're like, look, it all becomes one. You don't see the lip lines anymore. So a lip liner is essential. And on my lower lips, I pretty much just line where I can still see my natural lip line. And on my upper lip, I will slightly overdraw, but I will on the outside corner stay within the natural shape, but then I will go a little bit out. And I will fill in a little bit too. If the lipstick during the day diminishes, I want the lip liner still to look not like a lip liner, so I will basically draw in a little bit so it looks all even. And see how that looks like I have much bigger lips than before, and all I did is overdraw a little bit my upper lip. So as for lipstick, for this fresh glowy spring look, I like to use a color that has a little bit of coral in it. Just a hint to make it look really fresh. So this is really nice because it's very glossy and has some shine. And there you have it, the finished result, a fresh spring look with a lot of blush. I love it. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye ladies.